Hi guys. Um, Welcome back to my videos. I hope you all had a Merry Christmas. I hope it was wonderful for everyone. Wanted to do my weekly update. It's been a little bit, I feel like, and I'm so glad to be making another video again. Excuse me, I kind of look like a mess, and you might hear me cough quite a bit. I actually have pneumonia, which I don't look like I have pneumonia per se. Luckily my lungs are clear, but I still have to be all drugged up to be on the safe side. So if I look like I'm struggling to breathe, I'm actually feeling quite good today. So today I'm in my bed still, just trying to rest, and I figure let me go ahead and make my video for the week. So this past week, since Friday, it was a big week. As you know, last week I had my port surgery done. It's actually looking pretty good. It looks kind of nasty right now. That's just a piece of glue. But if you can see this white hump right there, that's actually my port. So what they'll do is they'll put a needle in, boop, right there, and they actually give me all my blood work, fluids, anything I need in that port. So it's really accessible and nice and easy. I was super worried about the needle going in, but it was really easy. I also had the bone scan, which my results for my bone scan came back crystal clear. So that was really big news. That just means that they did not see any issues with cancer on my bones and things like that. So I'm really happy. So Friday was the big day. It was my first day of chemo. I totally went in with thinking the worst, because that's all I'd heard, or horror stories and, how terrible people witness their friends and family members go through this and whatnot. And so I actually, as much as I don't want to rely on the depressing aspect of it, I was really glad I did listen, because I went in expecting the worst. And for it being what it is, I actually had the best outcome. So all in all, because I won't get too detailed with it, it's quite simple, really. I was there from 12:30 to 7:30. So Matt and I shut that place down. I was the last one there getting chemo for being there for the last 2 hours. But the actual process of chemo itself. So they gave me, which I don't know the names yet. I have to. But they gave me what's called the Red Devil, which is like the red liquid. Tubes are about, big, about that much liquid in each. As they're giving me that, they also have to give me a bag of saline, which is disgusting. And I learned I have a high sensitivity to saline. Not that that's a negative thing per se, but it just, if you've ever had saline, it'll give you an instant nasty taste in your mouth and a smell through your nose. Well, when I was getting the actual chemo itself, they said, "Oh, you shouldn't, you shouldn't taste any of that." No, I could. I mean, the nurse is like, "Oh, it shows all over your face. Like, you're so grossed out right now." So I think I'm gonna try some essential oils next time to kind of diffuse essential oils or candy to diffuse that smell and taste. But the actual process of chemo itself, with the injection, was legit only 45 minutes. So for me, and again, this is going to be different for every person, and I understand that. But I just went based off of stories and unfortunately off of what goes on in the movies. And I thought this was like a all-day sit around with a group of people in one room and talk about your situations and you're hooked up all day. But that wasn't the case at all. I spent most of the day meeting with doctors and meeting, all the staff members and the nurses and doing blood work and waiting on the pharmacy and this and that. So it is a long day. I totally believe when people say that. But the actual process itself is not. So that was comforting to me. So that I didn't feel like I just had to sit there and be injected with a whole bunch of fluid the entire day that I was there. But Matt was a trooper about it. He sat there all day with me. We had snacks and we watched movies, and it was just, for it being a crazy day, because of course, it's the end of the year, so everyone's trying to get in their last minute insurance. It was super busy, so I think that's why else it made for a long day. Because of course all my appointments were 30 minutes behind schedule because of how busy it was. But I felt fine there for the day. I felt fine that night. I did, though, notice, so over the next 3 to 4 days, they were kind of guaranteeing me, like, if you have any type of reactions or symptoms, like, you'll see them. You might not see them on Saturday, which I didn't at first. I actually went to work, worked a whole shift. There was a couple times I felt tired, but I think that was just in general. I don't think that was necessarily chemo yet. But I was also jacked up on a steroid. And man, like the steroid, I have to take it twice a day for 3 days after chemo. It's just dexamethasone, but I have a crazy reaction to me that I don't just get hot. I mean, I sweat, and I am pouring sweat for 3 days straight. Like, here we are, and it's going on Christmas, and I would be outside in a bathing suit if I could, because I'm that freaking hot. And so that made it tough to try to get out of the house, because everyone's bundled up, and I'm burning up. But the other reaction I had, which to me was the main reaction of this whole process so far, but it was because of the the dexamethasone, is I would get really, really red. So right now I might naturally look like I have a little nice flush to my face, but I was freaking red, and I was red, splotchy, all over my skin. I mean, it looked like I'd been in the sun all day. And so I thought that was really weird, but I guess that's just kind of a natural reaction to the steroid. So Friday night was good. I woke up twice. Friday night, thought I might be nauseous, but I never get nauseous. I really never have anything happen, so I didn't know what to expect. So I didn't know if it was just like my nerves or if I was nauseous, because I'm like, oh wait, I'm feeling something. What does that mean? Is this chemo talking? Saturday night, I took a nap. Naps are my new best friend. I try to take one at least once a day. I think everyone should. I think it's a really good dose of relaxation, energy, and reboosting yourself is at least an hour nap for sure. Saturday worked. It was good. Nothing crazy Saturday night. Sunday and Monday, which they were like, oh, you will definitely, those will be your rough days. That's all I'd heard from everyone. And they really weren't. I mean, the worst I had was, I definitely wore myself out, but I also was on a steroid, and I ran around to do last minute Christmas shopping for 2 days. So it definitely did its toll, and I should have, rested versus let the steroid kick in and take over. So lesson learned. Next Friday, January 3rd is my next chemo. That weekend, I will make sure to just do lots of resting, make no plans. You want to see me, you got to come see me. I ain't going nowhere. But all in all, for my very first time doing it, it was actually pretty good for the circumstances. So, and I know that a lot of people are going to watch this, and I've already been hearing it too, that, oh, you're going to be miserable. Oh, this is your first one. You don't even know, blah, blah, blah. And for me, it's like, I get that a lot of people have their opinions on it, or they've witnessed somebody go through it, or maybe they've gone through it. But, I think for me, like, just come at me open-minded, because feeding me all the negative is not helping at all. Like, I'm very politely ignoring you. To be honest, I'm gonna listen to whatever you gotta say, but I'm just not, excuse me, I'm not going to be negative about it, and why go to someone and tell them who's going through this, like, you're going to be miserable, or why tell them that, it's going to get so much worse, you don't even know. But it's like, unless you physically have experienced it yourself, like, you're only going based off of somebody else's experience, and shame on anyone trying to promote how terrible it is, because for some people, I want to be that outlook. I want to be the one that says, that this, I know it's going to be tough for a lot of people, and everyone's experience is different, but there are people that have gone through this before me that thought this was not the end of the world, that thought that this is just the stepping stone you need to be able to get better and get on the right track. And for me, that's exactly how I feel about this. Like, you know what? I've got breast cancer. It's weird that I can say it, and this is going to be my norm for a while, but by God, I'm a fucking beat it, period. So excuse my French for anyone that prefers me not cussing. If you know me, you can't help it. but I'm going to beat this. It's going to be fine. This is just a stepping stone to get to it. And so that's, I've officially I've officially decided this is another reason why I'm making these videos, because someone out there might watch this after me that's going to go through this and want a positive aspect of it and want to feel like they're not just going to hear nothing but the absolute worst negative situations. You know what I mean? And I don't want to, it's not that I don't want to hear people's situations. I do. Because there's no telling what tips and tricks I might learn, this and that. But, I am here to say that it is not the end of the world. You will be fine. You will get through this, just like me. And I'm going to hopefully help you guide through. Anywho, I'm jabbering. If Matt watches this, he's going to be like, good God, she's been talking forever. But I've been cooped up in my house. Okay, let me rush through. So, all right, so we already talked about, Sunday, Monday. Tuesday was doing all right. Pretty normal. Christmas Day hit. So keep in mind, my daughter had a double ear infection for like a week leading up, or all last week. And she hacked all over me. It sounded like she kind of had the croup, despite the fact she had the ear infections. So then about midway through last week, Matt started getting sick. He went to the doctor. They're like, oh, you tested negative for strep. Oh, you tested negative for flu. So they did nothing for him. They just sent him on his way. And he hacked, and he was terrible all week. And Mr. Stubborn, didn't do too much about it. So we tried to stay away from each other, and wear masks and whatnot. But Christmas Day hit, and I felt absolutely terrible. And I was like, it's not chemo. Sorry, someone's calling. Sorry. It's not the chemo feel at all. It's no symptoms of chemo. I just was straight up just shit. I was just absolutely terrible. I couldn't go to the bathroom. I was aching all over. I was hacking really bad. I was exhausted. I had a fever going. I was hacking. I mean, it was just terrible. Well, so I did not get to go anywhere for Christmas. I had to stay home on my couch. Matt stayed on the bed. Luckily, my family came and picked up Ellie for the day so she could enjoy Christmas, which that's all that matters to me. Is as long as she's had a great Christmas, that's all I wanted. So first time in my life, I've never spent Christmas with anyone. And talked to the ER and whatnot. And a random thing I learned, by the way, is if you go through chemo and you start to get sick and it's just like normal cold, stuff like that, you can still go see your physician. Of course, talk to your oncologist first just to make sure. But because I didn't know, I was like, well, shit, I'm going through chemo now. Does this mean I need, extra care? And nope, I could still go to a regular doctor, which is nice. Well, so of course, Christmas Day, everything's closed. Not a single pharmacy open around me. So we can't do anything. So I had to be a sitting duck and pretty much do just like in general home remedy care until yesterday. So then yesterday came. I went to the urgent care. And long story short, I found out I have pneumonia, which this is not my first time. But the first time I had it, I didn't realize I had it. Like I'd had it probably for a few days before I did anything about it. And it was so bad that like I couldn't breathe at all. And I had to go in and get like double breathing treatments twice a day or 2 days in a row. It was terrible. So on Christmas Day, I was like, man, these are resembling pneumonia symptoms that I had before. Like this reminds me so much of it. And sure enough, it was. And so I was really glad I caught it super fast. Highly recommend too, if you ever get sick in general, cancer related or not, that you get the hell in ASAP and get checked, because my family has been sick on and off for the last almost 2 weeks now, and it's so easily catchable. So I've made sure to stay masked as much as possible. Of course, I'm not in my bedroom right now, but I'm feeling good though. I've got really good meds, inhalers and all that. So I've been feeling good, but I also know it's the drugs, so I'm not trying to overexert myself. Today's a lazy day. But yeah, anywho, enough about all that. My next chemo is going to be next Friday, January 3rd. And the other big news I have is I have scheduled my hair appointment. If you've been following me, you know that I'm really, really excited to shave my head. So I can't wait to get rid of right now it's super greasy and thin looking, but if anyone knows me, I've got a ton of hair and it's really thick. So I'm getting rid of all of it. I cannot wait. I cannot wait to shave my head. Something I've always wanted to do. And by the way, if you ever decide in the future you want to shave your head, shave it. Who gives a shit? Who gives a crap what anyone thinks? Because it is you. And if you have the confidence, you do it. But if you feel like you're doing it because you're going through, chemo in general, cancer in general, so what? Someone is going to look at you and be like, but your hair's not going to fall out. But you don't know if it's going to fall out yet. Look, I'm telling you, unless you have done it yourself, unless you have had to go through chemo yourself, you have no idea. Like, sorry. Just because you know someone that didn't lose their hair, guess what? Everyone's chemo medication is different. Everyone's process is different. But if I've got doctors who deal with this every freaking day, nurses who deal with this every freaking day, telling me, girl, you were going to lose your hair. I promise you that. I'm going to believe them. And even if I didn't ever want the idea to shave my head, and it just started, the idea popped up after I found out I had cancer and I was starting to go through this, I'm still going to shave my head because I do not want to wake up one day and find a pile of hair on my bed because that would just be depressing as hell. So for any of you out there thinking maybe you want to get a head start and shave your head, you do it. Don't listen to anybody. Do what you want. You're going to prove them all wrong anyways. That's the whole process in my mind is I'm not just going to prove you wrong that my hair is going to fall out. I'm going to prove you wrong. I'm going to beat this. I'm going to win and it's going to be great. So Matt is finally accepted it. My dad said he's going to shave his head on New Year's Day. So we're going to look alike, which if Matt ever thought that I'd look like my father, I'm definitely going to have to do like a comparison photo because we're going to look exactly the same to show everyone. But anywho, I'm really excited. New Year's Eve is the day, so I'll have to come back and man, I can't wait to see what it's going to look like. Anywho, all right. I've been rambling like 10 minutes past what I wanted to. So I just want to say hello. Hope everyone's had a happy holidays. And I will be back to talk to y'all soon. Otherwise, have a great weekend.